What would be your favorite story you have wrote so far in the Muffins series? Can you explain why? Story you have written so far. Sorry. I know no one likes a grammar Nazi. My favorite story. Shit. Hang on. You know, it feels kind of like a cop-out, but I'm gonna have to say farewell to kindness on this one. Even though I killed my second favorite of the main 6, which I really didn't want to do, and I only did because I was pressured to, but still that story came out really well. And also, I'm really liking the way I've developed Babs' character. I get to approach Babs as a murderer in a sort of different way. She has a different feel to her than the other bakers do, because she's calm, collected. Yes, Inky Pie can be calm and collected, but she builds up this rage that, you know, if she doesn't let it out, it makes her really sick. But Babs is able to hide her insanity really easily, just like Apple Bloom and Pinkie Pie are able to. But it's more like you can't help but trust her. She makes you trust her. She is so manipulative, and it's because of the inner rage that she does indeed have, the inner sadness, but she doesn't lose it. She felt like she was going to lose it, and that's why she joined the Bakers. And she also has this sort of meditative, is that the word I'm looking for? Meditation, zen sort of way of doing things. Like the way she listens to her music, the way she hears it, you know, and the way she sees things instead of looks at them, to quote Hannibal Lecter, "You looked but you did not see." She's really based on that kind of sociopath like Ted Bundy, who looks just so freaking normal on the outside. And so did Apple Bloom, but she's shown a lot of different things. She's shown that, one, she's a hypocrite, huge hypocrite. I mean, we're all hypocrites, but Apple Bloom is a huge hypocrite. She does lose it pretty easily. I mean, none of them really care, but she learned not to care, because she did get upset when she first started doing it, but she learned not to care. All of them are pretty much liars, even Blinkie Pie. She lies when she needs to. But I don't know, Babs just has a certain feel to her that there was just, when she showed up in the episode One Bad Apple, I think that's what it was called, when she showed up there, she showed a lot of potential to be put in the Muffin series, and that's why I added her. So let's go back to the questions. If you were to kill someone, who would you kill? Why and how? We all know the answer to this question. We all know why, and I'm not going to explain how. It's not that I don't know how, I know exactly how, but what is your favorite form of fictional media? Cinema, gaming, literature, etc. Shit. I gravitate more toward movies and gaming. I used to read non-stop when I was younger. I don't read so much anymore, but I still, you know, do like literature. I like listening to creepypastas. Good creepypastas, you know. Things that would be considered not professional literature, but amateur literature. I don't know, I just like fiction, because even though I understand reality, I don't like it. I really hate reality. I say, I don't like reality, it's too real for me. And so I like to delve into these other worlds, and that's why I created Encephalon, not as, oh, by the way, Encephalon as a whole is a representation of my brain. Clearwater Park is the stable, normal side of my brain when medicated. Wayward City is all the violence and depressiveness and all that shit that's over here, unmedicated. Smilesville is the manic, happy, random, colorful, and not just manic, but I really gravitate toward, well, not only dark things, but I gravitate toward random and colorful things too. So that's what Smilesville is. The unknown quadrant, it represents all the things that I do not know. The things that we just, you know, not everybody knows everything, and that your brain is going to have those things that just are blank, and that's what the unknown quadrant is. That's why no one can live in it, no one can venture toward it and into it safely. And people have tried to say, oh, I live in the unknown quadrant. No, you don't, because it's impossible. It's uninhabitable. You don't live in the unknown quadrant. But other than that, I just like fiction. When will you put at least an image of the comic Playing with Fire? What is the best way for you to personally find peace with yourself and your past? Understanding myself. Right now, I'm not feeling so peaceful because just, you know, found out that social phobia and social anxiety are the same exact things, and that I have shown something Michael and I both feel pretty stupid about missing. I have shown textbook symptoms of PTSD, and God knows what else is probably going on in my head. I had an interview with a psychologist, and I just told her flat out, I want to understand myself. I need to know everything that's going up there, and so I need to be tested. I need to be psychoanalyzed. Anything you could possibly do to make me find out what's going on with me, that's what I need. So don't be surprised if I start creating more others. At least one for the social anxiety, because I am about 98.5% sure that I have social anxiety disorder because I've shown it since I was a little kid. PTSD, I'm pretty sure that I have that because of, again, the things that the way that I act. You know, the only reason why it didn't hit Michael and I is because we associated PTSD with the military. But it's like blatantly obvious, and that sucks. You know, whatever. I'm not at peace with my past, especially since I have nightmares about it constantly. Mike says that sometimes he hears me scream out in my sleep, and I do wake up screaming sometimes. Otherwise, I just get jerked awake and panting or covered in cold sweat. All the nightmares are about her, and I have never and will never forgive her. I will not forgive a lot of people, and I don't think I'll be at peace until she dies. So, you know, I know that sounds really, I don't know, weird, but I just have this feeling that I'm not going to dwell on this anymore. What future plans do you have for Encephalon? Great question! I need to develop each quadrant's a sort of government systems. Like there is no president or king or queen. Each quadrant, aside from unknown of course, has their own mayor. I need to develop schools. I need to expand more. This sucks that I'm not very good at creating maps, because the map that I drew for Encephalon is small and obviously incomplete. There needs to be more streets, more buildings, more companies, more stores, just more things. So really I'm going to build it as a society, as well as focusing on different products, like food and other things, creatures. Just Encephalon just is in its baby phase right now. It's a little baby. So, will you be designing new types of others? Anxiety, PTSD, depression, anorexia, etc. And if so, any ideas of how they will look or behave? I do plan on it. Actually, I have designed but haven't drawn general anxiety and social anxiety, and those are in the Guide to Others. I will eventually read that for my channel, but you can go see it on my DeviantArt. It's called The Guide to Others. If I have PTSD, I'm gonna have to design that one, aren't I? As for depression, there are different types of depression, so I probably will. There are different kinds of others that I probably will, most likely will design after Muffins is done. So that's another thing to Encephalon that I need to focus on. Anorexia, I can imagine already, you know, a very skinny, skeletal other. OCD others. Tracy Lind Pond has OCD disorder. Obsessive compulsive disorder? OCD. So she designed her own other for that, and she is a really, really talented writer, really descriptive, really good at creating original things. She honestly reminds me a little bit of me, just in the imagination department. And I asked her, and this is the only time I will ever do this, her species for OCD others are canon to Reitanna fiction. And she gave me a complete description of what they look like, but I still need to draw it. But I won't ever accept any others, others as canon. Hers just stood out to me so, just bam! It was just so genius that I couldn't help it.